Can you remember the time in childhood when you first held crayons? The feel of the wax, the colors, the endless possibilities? For all of us, crayons rewind back to the time when we used to let our creativity run wild and felt ecstatic while bringing our imagination to life. Have you ever thought about how these little sticks of color are made? Crayons are so popular among us that the world's biggest crayon makers have to make almost 8 million color sticks daily. That's around 3 billion each year. There are endless possibilities again for today's kids to pin funny houses, animals, and people against the refrigerators. Let's decode the mechanism of making these fun sticks. The production of crayons isn't a straightforward process. It is an epic tale of science, arts, and cutting-edge technology of the modern world. The start of crayon making is unique to all the videos you have watched on Inside the Making. The raw materials must be handled with great care and scientific knowledge. The paraffin, which will be added with color pigments in the later part of this video, is temperature sensitive. The delivery trucks must maintain a warm enough temperature to keep them from hardening. Paraffin comes liquid at 57 degrees centigrade. If you don't know what paraffin is, let's go back to high school chemistry. And remember, these are aromatic hydrocarbons classified as alkanes. We extract them from petroleum. Because of their aroma and coloring ability, these waxes make excellent core material for the crayons. As alkanes do not mix with water like all other hydrocarbons, these pigments are delivered to the crayon factories in dry form. Suppliers make these pigments by using formulas dictated by the crayon manufacturers. To remove excess water from individual pigments, they will be made with chemicals in wooden boxes, and then workers will filter them industriously. After that, it is time for pigments to see the kiln for several days. When the suppliers are satisfied with the drying process, the pigments are mixed with the formula of the desired color, pulverized into powder, and blended for color consistency. Once all these steps are completed, the mixes are sent to the factory. In the factory, the first step is all about the wax. The paraffin, which has been received in huge solid blocks, will be heated and melted at 82 degrees centigrade. Remember, we know the temperature here is very crucial because the alkanes are very thermosensitive. They do mind too much shuffling of temperatures. Once the wax is in liquid form, at the time of heating or soon after, a mixture of colored pigments will be added in the batch to give crayons their particular color. This mixing will be done in big drums. The size of these drums is equal to washing machines in our homes. This is the step of magic in the whole process. The colored pigments have been added to the mixture and will be heated until it reaches the form of a smooth, rich paste. The paraffin wets the pigments as they are mixed, and this mixing disperses the pigments uniformly into the whole mixture. When the combination of pigment and paraffin is fully blended, the batch is ready and it will be pumped out of the tub to the molds of desired shape. At this point, the main focus of the workers is to prevent the formation of bubbles and lumps. For this, there are rotating blades inside the molds. These blades will prevent bubbling while the molds are getting cooled and water is circulating around them. How much time do we need here for the cooling and molding? Well, to answer this question, we should know the color of the crayon and the quantity of pigment we are using. Some colors can be ready in just 4 minutes. Others take around 7 minutes to be prepared. The molds can shape the mixture in 24,000 different forms. Until recently, the paraffin mixture had to be poured by hand into the tubs and then into the molds. However, now as we live in the age of technology, newer machines automate the whole process on their own, and they even put the mixture into the molds as well. In some old factories, there are still both practices going on. After acquiring the desired shape and cooling, the crayons will be pushed out of the molds. It is time for them to get in an assembly line. Like a strict invigilator, supervisors will check all the crayons for quality control. They will look for breaks and chips or any sign of bubbles in the cooled crayons. These bubbles form if the mixing of wax and pigments is not uniform. The crayons consistent with quality guidelines are ready for labeling. The rejected crayons are returned to the tub for remelting and recasting. Crayons that have passed the quality control test have already been placed on the racks where they'll get wrapped with paper labels. To maintain higher molecular integrity and extra strength, some manufacturers use double wrapping of the paper. When the labeling has been done and the new consignment is ready in the boxes, it will be sent to the wholesalers to keep up with demanded orders. In the early days of crayon manufacturers, an entire factory floor was devoted to the production of a single color. When the order of the color is completed, the machines will be cleaned and the order of another color will be fulfilled. In today's factory, the demand is so huge that individual vats are dedicated to specific shapes and colors. Don't forget, companies produce colors of more than 100 different colors today, and production lines run all days and nights. In the early 1990s, the Binney and Smith Company found great success in marketing the crayons with food scents that matched the colors and names of its crayons. This raised their market sales heavenly high for a short time. However, children who used these crayons could not distinguish if they were edible or not, so the number of incidents was increasing day by day when a kid ate the crayon because of its inviting scent. This forced the manufacturers to produce the crayons with non-edible scents. However, removing the aroma was not enough. All the crayons produced today have to be non-toxic with not very inviting scents. U.S. law requires all the crayons to be non-toxic and pass the toxicology evaluation by the Arts and Crafts Materials Institute in Boston, Massachusetts. Apart from these, all manufacturers of crayons have to comply with ISO 14001, which ensures the betterment of environmental management systems. Early recorded communication of prehistoric humans is in the form of graphic arts on the cave paintings. Though they might not have had access to the modern form of the crayons, a piece of burned wood would have acted as the first crayon in human history. The crayon is a French word that dates back to the 16th century. However, the crayons are not a recent invention. How crayons are made? Ancient Romans, Egyptians, and Greeks have answers to this question. They invented a process of melting beeswax with a colored pigment. Those civilizations used to make encaustic sculpturization, or in simple words, hot wax paintings with these color pigments and hot beeswax. Modern crayons first appeared in Europe in the 16th century. These were made with oil and charcoal. In the mid-1870s, paraffin wax was used for the first time, after powdered pigments replaced charcoal in the early 19th century. After the introduction of paraffin, crayons were more durable and easy to use. Soon it became big business as many companies started to compete for supply of these lucrative color sticks to the art houses and royal houses. At that time, it was for the artists and people who made art as a hobby. Soon, when the price was more affordable and manufacturers made abundant crayons, the kids accessed them. That's how we played with them in our childhood. Because there were no smartphones and the peak entertainment was letting our imagination loose and drawing whatever comes out of it. With that vivid, colorful memory of childhood, our journey ends today at Inside the Making. Don't forget to color the like and subscribe button black. It will give us more enthusiasm to work hard and find more memories of our great childhood. Comment down below what was your favorite thing to play when you were a kid. Before signing off, don't forget to share the video with your siblings and friends with whom you shared the ecstasy of crayons.